Hello, everyone, and welcome to Look at Her, the Hey Queen After Show, where our super celebrity guest looks at some of the queens she's played with, slayed with, or even laid with, and spills a little tea, throws a little shade, only if she has to, or just tells us something that we don't know. Today's guest is actress, supermodel, and true beauty of the world, Miss Isis King.
Look at her.
Yes, honey. You are looking stunned today. This
you.
outfit, the hair. I mean, you always are a stunner, but today, this golden glamour I'm living.
I've been in quarantine. I gotta spice it up some way. I haven't been over red carpet.
That's right. So today we're your red carpet.
Period.
Thank you.
I love, this is probably my favorite part.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, look at her.
All right, well, let's hope you do it proud.
Her.
Work it like you were back in the ballroom scene on the judge's table, sweetie.
Kick.
All right, let us begin. Look at her. Miss Niecy Nash.
Mom, I'm like, I hope her kids don't get upset, but every time she posts something, I'm like, my mom looks so gorgeous, and my mom, I'm like, I hope they don't get mad, because like, I love her so much, and I looked up to her, watching her for so long, but to work with her, oh, okay, interesting little story.
Yeah.
The day of the shoot, I told you I was really nervous before I worked with Ava, and I just knew that I always saw Niecy in funny stuff, so I was nervous about seeing someone who I think is funny in my head yell at me and curse at me on, you know, for the project, for the role.
Right.
So I was just nervous about how that was going to be. So we get there, and I remember my car pulled up, and I got there first, and her car pulled up, and it was my first time meeting her. And I remember her saying, "Hey, baby," and I was like, "Hey," I was like, you know, I'm a little nervous because I loved you for so long, and I know this role, you know, it's going to be really intense. And she gave me a hug. She said, "Baby, it's going to be fine. This is going to be fine. It's going to be good. We got this." And I was like, "Oh, thank you." And then afterwards, I remember her and Ava did the same similar thing. She came over, she's like, "You okay?" I was like, "Yeah, like I'm good. You know, I'm back to normal." But it was just nice to see, like, okay, this is a touchy topic. I know, you know, this is really intense. Let me just come and check on you. And I was okay throughout, but it was just so sweet to see this, especially Black woman, you know, the camaraderie was just there, and she's always gonna be my mom. I don't care if she like it or not. and I hope that we, obviously her and Jarrell and Ava, I hope I get to work with them all again, because it really was a dream.
And you said Niecy, even during some of the serious scenes, they had been doing it for a while, so
Yeah.
they were kind of light, and you were like, I need to get into my moment.
Yeah, it was like, so one of the jail scenes, I believe it was after we shot the really emotional, intense one, but it was kind of the beginning that was going to lead into that, him thinking in his jail cell, and then he turned this way, and Niecy's there, and turned this way, and I'm there, and then it goes into the actual scene of us arguing. So I just remember, like, and then Niecy had like the fake cigarette, but it was like smoking up the little room. And we were like, and we were just like being dramatic and laughing. I'm like, no, you know, let me focus, because you guys already been filming for like weeks and weeks together, and I just really wanted to just be serious the whole time. Of course, I'm so goofy and they're goofy, and it's like no way that could happen. And I'm just glad to think of how we were in between takes of that part, and then to see where we were. Like, I was like, wow, like, we all shook our Emmys.
Exactly.
We good.
Okay, look at her. Ooh, Miss Janet Mock. I mean, talk about someone who's been having a moment and really just stepping up to all the different opportunities.
So when I first met, I like to tell like the first beginning. When I first met Janet, we were on a panel together, and I remember it was for like Black trans women, something with healthcare, and I had just came back from All Stars. So this was 2011. And I turned and I saw her. I didn't know she was gonna be on panel. I was just looking, I was like, oh, who is that? She is gorgeous. Like, who is she? She looks so different from everybody I usually see. So then she ended up being on a panel, and she just talked about her journey. And her story had just came out in Marie Claire, but I was on Top Model, so I didn't know anything about it. So just hearing her story, I was like, she went to school, and then she waited to come out, and she did this with people. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, she's awesome. We ended up getting really close, and I remember at the beginning of, even before her book came out and she doing the shoot for it, like, it's nice to see, like, I was there and saw it all. You know, so it's just so awesome to just see how she's blossomed and then became like the boss.
Yeah.
Like she is the boss. And it's just really awesome. And I think it's so inspiring for people everywhere to just see that you can really just come through the ranks and like be the boss.
Yeah, I mean, her work on Pose. I mean, coming from the
Yeah.
ballroom scene, I'm sure that's a show that you are glad to see out there, but especially seeing that she's behind it along with Our Lady J.
Yeah.
It's great trans representation to tell stories about trans women.
Yeah, and then she got her own Netflix deal. So I'm
Yes.
excited to see what direction she goes in with her projects, because that's another first, and it'll just be awesome. Like I can't even fathom like for a Black trans woman to be completely in control of the narrative in that way and to that magnitude and what it will look like. So I'm excited for what she does in the future.
Yes, Janet Mock. That is something to look forward
Yeah.
to. All right, look at her. Oh, India Moore, another friend of yours.
Yes.
You guys just were together at the Emmys?
Yes, that's when I finally got to give India a hug. They have been such a powerhouse in the community since they've been out. We go way back to not MySpace, Facebook. Me and India used to write each other back and forth, and I was like, this person has such a strong voice, especially to be so young at the time, and to see them just blossom and to use their voice and to not hold back and to really fight the fight. You know, at that age, you know, I remember when I was at that age and I was just more scared, you know, and it wasn't so many people that I feel like could really just stand there with me. And now this new generation have India, someone who just says what they mean and is not afraid of what anybody thinks about them. I think that I even am inspired by India. And I think, honestly, I don't know if I told them that, but maybe in one of my panels I recently said it. They inspired me to speak up more. I think with each trans person, I always tell them, especially some of my trans sisters of color, I've told one who has a very big voice, you know, you speak up when you feel like you can, and if there are moments where it's too much, it's okay, because we carry so much weight with us anyway, and there's so many of your siblings there to pick up the slack or to go from there. Just say what you can, because people don't realize like we also have so much on our plates and we're battling these things too. So to see India and to see what they have done with their voice, I think in some points, especially with the movements that have been happening, they have inspired me to say more like, oh, I want to say this. I don't know what people, it, I'm going to say it. India say it, so I'm going to say it, you know, and I think it's important to just say what you mean and mean what you say, and if you feel like in that moment it's important for you to say it, for whatever reason, somebody needs to hear this way, let me not sugarcoat it. I have this thing where sometimes I do the pageant thing, you know, and sometimes I'm like, no, I need to be more like India and just say it. I don't need to sugarcoat something to make other people feel comfortable with my point of view, because sometimes you need to hear the point of view just like this.
Right, amazing. What was that moment when you guys were face to face at the Emmys?
It was just a big hug. I think I have a picture on my Instagram of me, India, and MJ.
Wow.
And it was so nice to be there with all those people around, and we were like glamorous, and I was like, we belong here. Doesn't it feel good? Like, we belong here.
Yeah.
I just felt like in that moment when we took that picture, it was no sun, but somehow like a sun-kissed ray of sunshine just came down and, you know, like glistened our skin. And it was a moment I was like, yes, like this is powerful.
Yes, it is.
And I'm tired of people asking me, when am I gonna be on Pose?
Uh-huh.
India, Janet, MJ, Lady J, Ryan.
Right.
If I had a dog, I feel like I'm hearing that more than like, how is Tyra? It used to be, how is Tyra? Now it's like, why aren't you on Pose? And I'm just like, ask them. Ask them, because I want to be on Pose, season 3.
I want to see it too.
Hello, children.